What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race 6 for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series has a Kansas Speedway, a 1.5-mile racetrack that puts on generally some of the best racing in NASCAR on a year-by-year basis for the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and multiple groups available, and a lot of great racing, and sometimes some really excellent finishes as well, like 2024. The last time we ran at Kansas Speedway, we saw Kyle Larson pick up his third win of the 2025 season. He'll be back to get his first win since Kansas back in May. And also last time we ran the fall race at Kansas, we saw Ross Chastain, I believe, pick up his fifth career NASCAR Cup Series win. He's back this time around trying to get his second win of the year and his seventh career NASCAR Cup Series win. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But before I go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend currently at the moment is looking extremely promising. It's going to be 82 degrees the high with 55 degrees as low with a 0% chance of rain with sunny skies. Going to still be pretty warm, especially for a late September day. It's not going to be super hot, but it's still going to be really warm. You're definitely going to need to be prepared. Make sure you have sunscreen among other things headed out to the racetrack this weekend at Kansas. It should be warm. It's going to be a warm day out at Kansas Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series event. Before jumping into picks as well, let's take a look at the playoff standings after the first race of the round of 12. So after the first race of the round of 12 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Ryan Blaney is able to lock his way into the round of 8. He is guaranteed a spot in the next round. Then you have William Byron who's up by 47 points. Then you have Kyle Larson who's up by 41. Then you have Christopher Bell who's up by 29. Then you have Denny Hamlin who's up by 27. Joe Logano with a really strong run is up by 24. Chase Elliott's up by 14. And Chase Briscoe's up by 12. Meanwhile, below you have Ross Chastain, the defending winner of the fall race, is down by 12 points. Austin Cindric is down by 19. Tyler Reddick is down by 23. And Bubba Wallace is down by 27. For all the drivers here, there still is a mathematical chance they can make it in on points, but they're all going to have really strong, good runs if they're going to be contenders to make it to the next round of the playoffs. So now, finally, let's go ahead and jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks usually work on the channel. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I expect to struggle. I don't think will have the pace and speed, who haven't been that good at this type of track recently or struggled in recent years. I do 2 underdog picks, 2 drivers who desperately need a run, who I think will have a really good run this weekend or really good at this type of track. And I do my winner's pick, the driver thinks is going to win the race overall. And I do the drivers you need to watch out for. And usually for the Cup Series, I got 5 drivers you need to watch out for along with the race winner. So now, let's jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400? My first suck pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is the driver of the 45 car for 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick. Now, hear me out. Tyler Reddick, yes, is really good at Kansas Speedway, at least in the first 2 years. But the last couple of years, I will say, especially since 2024, I really don't feel like the 2311 cars have been as strong at this track. And Tyler Reddick's been very inconsistent. He had a very bad run most recently at New Hampshire. He was not that great at Bristol either. I just don't trust the 45 team currently at the moment. They can have times where they pop up a great speed, and then there's times where they're just out to lunch and don't perform very well. So I think Reddick unfortunately ends up struggling once again. I don't trust the speed of this car. I think it's going to be a not great run for Tyler Reddick this weekend at Kansas. My second suck pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is a driver of the 22 car for Team Penske, Joey Logano. Joey Logano had a really good run this past weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where he scored a really strong top 5 finish and got the most stage wins of anybody in the field. But we're going back to reality at mile and a half. And while, yes, Joey Logano won at Texas Motor Speedway, Texas is not the normal for Penske a mile and a half. I don't trust Joey Logano going into this weekend. Logano, yes, has a couple wins at this track, but I don't trust his speed. He had to have a really good run last week, in my opinion, have a really good chance to make it to the next round, because the next couple weeks aren't going to be good. I think it's going to be a struggle for Joey Logano this weekend at Kansas Speedway. And now we're going ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this weekend at Kansas Speedway is the driver of the 8 car for Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. Recently, it's been very tumultuous for Kyle Busch. Unfortunately, it was announced he will not have Randall Burnett as a crew chief next year, as he'll go to work with Connor Zilisch, and Kyle Busch had a terrible run in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But remember, last year, Kyle Busch was in position to pick up the win and victory at Kansas before spinning out. I think Kyle Busch will have a fast car this weekend. I think if there's a track where they can really turn the luck around, he has a good run, I think it's this weekend at Kansas. I think RCR is going to bring some good pace and speed, and I think Kyle Busch will contend for a potential top 10 this weekend at Kansas Speedway. My second underdog pick for this weekend at Kansas is a driver the 88 car for Trackhouse Racing, Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen has been getting better on ovals throughout this season. He had a really good run going in New Hampshire inside the top 10 before unfortunately got caught up in a massive crash that took him out of contention. And remember last year in the Xfinity race, he finished in the top 10 in that event and contend for a top 5 run. I think he's going to contend for another really strong run this weekend, potentially get his first top 10 on a non-road course. I think he's going to have a really good opportunity for a good run, plus the Rebel sponsorship back up, which it seems like it's starting to bring a lot of luck to Max Verstappen as well in Formula 1. I think SVG is going to have a solid chance, and I think he'll do a pretty good job this weekend at Kansas Speedway. And now we're going ahead and jump on to the winner's pick for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400. Who am I picking to win? The driver who I'm picking to win this weekend at Kansas Speedway has not won in quite some time in 2025, but he is a defending winner at Kansas Speedway from earlier in the spring. If there's a track where he can definitely turn the corner, it is Kansas Speedway. I am going to be picking the driver of the 5 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson, to pick up his 4th win of 2025 and his 33rd career NASCAR Cup Series victory. I think Kyle Larson's due for a win. The team has been starting to show up a little bit more speed. He had really good speed in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He's been really showing the mile and a half throughout the year. I think Kyle Larson's going to bring a lot of really good speed this week, and I think Hendrick is due to get another win, to have a win, I believe, since Iowa, I'm pretty sure. So it's been a little bit. I think Kyle Larson gets his team back to victory lane. I'm going to go Kyle Larson to pick up the win this weekend in the NASCAR Cup Series race. I think he gets it done this week. And now we're going ahead and jump on to the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas Speedway. Who should you have your driver eyes out on? The first driver you need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Well, yes, the last couple weeks for Denny Hamlin have not gone super well. We're going to Kansas, a track where Denny Hamlin historically has been very, very good, as he's won here a couple times before. I expect Denny Hamlin to be really, really fast this weekend. I think JGR is going to get back on track with the pace and speed. I think he's going to have a really good chance for a great run. I think Denny Hamlin will be a factor, and I think he certainly will be a contender for his 5th or 6th win of the season this weekend at Kansas. The second driver we need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is a driver of the 23 car for 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace. I mentioned about Tyler Reddick not being really good recently, and Bubba, I will say, has been a little bit hit or miss at Kansas as of recently too. But this 23 team has a lot of speed right now. I know that New Hampshire didn't go too well, but I think if there's a track where they can really bounce back, it is Kansas. I think there's a chance this team is going to bring some speed. He's going to need a really good run because while I don't think he's that bad at road courses now, it's certainly not his bread and butter track. So he needs a really good run this weekend. I think 2311 is going to bring some speed, and I think he will be a contender for a potential win and maybe a second win of this season this weekend at Kansas. The third driver we need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott had a lot of speed at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and they've been inconsistent at times as of late, but I think Chase Elliott and this 9 team have a lot going their way. They're really good at Kansas. He had one of the fastest cars at Kansas Speedway in the spring earlier this year, and I think there's a chance Chase Elliott could get back into victory lane for the second time this year, as of course he won Atlanta earlier this season. He's already won at Kansas in the past 2 back in 2018. I think Chase Elliott will be a factor for a good opportunity, and I think he'll show some really strong pace and really good speed this weekend at Kansas. The fourth driver we need to watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William Byron had a ton of speed in the spring, but unfortunately had a flat tire. And this 24 team's had some good speed in the playoffs as well. Though I will say they haven't had a lot of great finishes, but he had top 5 finish in New Hampshire, finished in 3rd place. I think he's going to be a contender for a great run this weekend. Hendrick is again finding their footing. They're really good at Kansas as a type of track where they always run very, very well. I think William Byron will be a factor, and I think he will certainly be a strong contender for a potential win, which will be his 3rd win of the season if he can get it done this weekend at Kansas. And the 5th final driver I think you should watch out for this weekend at Kansas is the driver of the 12th car for Team Penske, Ryan Blaney. This 12 team has a ton of momentum and a ton of confidence right now. Ryan Blaney has had 9 top 10s in the last 10 races, and Ryan Blaney's come close to winning at Kansas before. I think Blaney's going to be a factor. He's been the best Penske car all year, maybe been the fastest car throughout the majority of the season. I think Team Penske is going to bring a ton of pace and speed. I think he's going to be a massive threat and serious contender to get it done. I think they're going to do what they can to try to get Blaney back-to-back wins, which would be Blaney's 4th win, which I believe will be the most races Ryan Blaney has won when it comes to that. I think Blaney's going to be strong. I think he will be a factor for the win this weekend at Kansas Speedway. So those are my race picks for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano. My underdog picks are Kyle Busch, SVG. My winner's pick is Kyle Larson. And the ones to watch out for are Daniela, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney. Those are my race picks. So that is going to be it for the race picks video for the 2025 Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and combo your picks for this weekend at Kansas. Who are your picks? Let me know your suck picks, your underdog picks, your winner's pick, and let me know the drivers you're watching out for this weekend at Kansas. Let me know your picks in the comments below. We're going to have the Xfinity Series picks dropping later today for Kansas Wall near the middle of the day, and any major news breaks we'll discuss live on the channel. Then Thursday, we should have an NASCAR news video, talk about the Randall Burnett signing from Trackhouse Racing, talk about some playoff format discussion once again, among other things as well. We can also be talking about some silly scene stuff around Corey LaJoie as well, because I have some thoughts of his comments as of late. We got a lot of content coming on people like Haley Deegan, SVG, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Clayton Zabron, Dodge, Ram Connors, Lewis Jr. Motorsports, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, you name it. All the good stuff we'll be talking about on the channel in the coming days and the coming weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, buddy.